Thanks for tuning in to 5 While You Drive, an American Daily Press podcast, where we bring you 5 trending topics to listen to on your daily commute. Today is October 1st, 2024. The top story from over the weekend is the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, and it's heartbreaking. It's left a devastating impact across multiple states in the Southeastern United States, and honestly, devastating just isn't a strong enough word. Millions of people are still without power, and record-breaking river flooding continues to affect southern Appalachia. The storm has resulted in at least 128 deaths across 6 states, with many, many more individuals unaccounted for due to disrupted communication lines and blocked roads. Volunteers have been attempting to bring in some Starlink terminals to set up Wi-Fi hotspots in an otherwise complete blackout zone, so survivors can contact loved ones. In North Carolina, rescue efforts have become increasingly challenging, with some areas resorting to mule trains to deliver supplies. The Mountain Mule Packers, who shared in an update on Facebook yesterday, have 2 fully loaded trucks and 20-foot stock trailers along with their mules and equipment to make a staging area in nearby Weaverville, North Carolina. I should point out that the city of Asheville, North Carolina, which experienced significant flooding, is, at least at the time I'm recording this episode, only accessible by air. The Cajun Navy, famous for its response in previous disasters, has flown in supplies via private helicopters. I don't mean private like fancy, I mean private like citizens doing the work the government should be doing. The economic damage is estimated to be upwards of $160 billion with a B dollars, making Helene one of the costliest storms in U.S. history. I'm not really being very brief with this particular story. There are many volunteer organizations that are providing crucial supplies like clean water and trying to get people out of the area. And if you feel so motivated to donate to those organizations, here is a brief list in no particular order. The Appalachian Relief Fund from Kentucky, Blue Ridge Relief, Appalachia Service Project, Operation Airdrop, Samaritan's Purse, Catholic Charities, Rotary Relief, Convoy of Hope, Baptists on Mission, Team Rubicon, and of course, the aforementioned Cajun Navy. In some more uplifting news, SpaceX successfully launched a rescue mission to the International Space Station to bring back the astronauts stranded in space following the malfunction of Boeing's Starliner spacecraft. The Crew Dragon spacecraft, launched by SpaceX, successfully docked with the ISS to retrieve NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams. This mission highlights the reliability and importance of SpaceX and NASA's current space operations, especially in emergency scenarios. The astronauts will remain on the International Space Station for several more months, continuing their research and maintenance duties before returning to Earth. This extended stay is due to the need for thorough checks and preparations to ensure their safe return. The earliest they might be able to come back to the Big Blue Marble and not interrupt other scheduled space flights is February 2025. Early Sunday evening this past weekend, a fire broke out at BioLab in Conyers, Georgia. The fire has caused significant disruption and concern. It broke out due to a malfunctioning sprinkler head that mixed with a water-reactive chemical, creating a dangerous chemical plume that could be seen for miles. The pictures on social media are quite striking. As a result, the city of Conyers, with a population of around 17,000, was evacuated, and surrounding Rockdale County, home to nearly 100,000 people, was placed under a shelter-in-place order. The fire has since been extinguished, but the chlorine smell and smoke have spread to multiple counties. Local officials are working to reassure residents and manage the aftermath of the incident. Emergency response teams have been conducting air quality tests and providing updates to the community. Hopefully they'll be able to leave their houses soon. The vice presidential debate between Democratic Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota and Republican Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio is scheduled for tonight, so break out the popcorn. The debate will take place at the CBS Broadcast Center in New York City and will be moderated by Nora O'Donnell and Margaret Brennan. It starts at 9 p.m. Eastern, that's 8 Central, 7 Mountain, 6 Pacific, and so on and so forth, and is expected to last 90 minutes. Key topics expected to be discussed include the economy, healthcare, immigration, and foreign policy. Both candidates have been, one would think, preparing extensively. The rules for this debate are nothing fancy. There will be 2 4-minute breaks, no opening statements, no live audience, no cross-examination, and each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer a question, and 2 minutes for their response, and 1 minute for rebuttals. Additional minutes may be granted at the moderator's discretion, and I'm sure that will happen a lot. Mics will be hot the entire time, which on paper is different from the most recent presidential debate, but as we witnessed, doesn't really mean anything. Vance won the virtual coin toss and has elected to deliver his closing statement second. The debate will broadcast live on CBS and be streamed online to various platforms. Finally, a port strike by 45,000 dock workers across the East and Gulf Coasts began at midnight last night. The strike is a result of failed negotiations between the International Longshoremen's Association, or ILA, union, and the U.S. Maritime Alliance. Now, this massive strike is expected to shut down major ports, significantly impacting the supply chain and causing delays in the transportation of goods. The dock workers are seeking a 77% increase in pay over the next 6 years and a total ban on the automation of cranes, gates, and container-moving trucks used in the loading and unloading of freight at 36 U.S. ports. Now, these ports handle roughly half of the nation's cargo from ships, making the workers' demands crucial for maintaining their job security and working conditions. Now, that wage increase may sound like a lot, but to put things in perspective, the West Coast workers, that is, the ones not on strike, earn at least an estimated $116,000 per year for a 40-hour work week, versus the roughly $81,000 that dock workers at the East and Gulf Coast ports take home, not including overtime pay. The ILA and U.S. Maritime Alliance have been unable to reach an agreement despite extensive talks, leading to this critical juncture. The strike's economic impact could be substantial depending on how long it lasts. Even if it lasts only a day, it'll still take at least 5 more days to get the supply chain back on track, and this can potentially lead to the shortage of various goods like fruit, meat, cheese, alcohol, and even prescription drugs. So, let's hope they come to an agreement soon. Thanks for tuning in to 5 While You Drive. We hope you enjoyed your stay. We know it was a little bit longer today. Sorry about that. We usually try to keep things pretty brief. If you like what you heard, give us a follow on X or visit AmericanDailyPress.com. You can also send us an email to give us some feedback at 5drive, that's the number 5 and the word drive, at AmericanDailyPress.com.